How do you operate with functions? Glad you asked. Let's do this. This video is going to contain just the first 6 problems, which is f of -2, g of -2, h, j, k, m. I skipped L because it just looks like the number 1. I skipped I because also it's a mathematical variable. Our functions are defined over here on the left side, and this one's a table, this one's a graph, these 3 equations, that one is a graph, and that one is an equation. So we need to know how to deal with the different representations of them. So let's just jump in. Let's use a blue pen. I want to know f of -2. So when my input is -2, that would be my x value. What's my output? It's 4. Okay, that was pretty straightforward. Okay, this is your x value, that's your y value. Got it. So g of -2, so my input is -2, my x value is -2. We're going to go to -2 on the x-axis. There's your x-axis right there. We're going to go to -2 and we're going to find the corresponding y value. And you might be tempted to kind of park here and say, well, there it is. Well, no, that's an open circle, so it does not include that. It does include this. You may not have seen a graph like this before, but this was broken. It's called piecewise, and that's going to be the next lesson. But that is basically a situation where my graph is broken up into, well, pieces. So up here, that's the circle that's filled in, and that y value is +2. Okay, h of -2, so we're gonna say, well, we're dealing with h now. And so when I have h of -2, I'm going to plug in a -2 in for x. Well, it's not a graph, it's not a table, it's an equation. I'm gonna actually plug in a -2. So 1/2 times -2 plus 3, and we'll just figure it out. There we go, now you can see it. So 1/2 of 2 would be 1, but it's negative, and then plus 3, that's gonna give me +2. Okay, so far so good. J of -2, all right, well, I'm going to plug a -2 in the place of x right here. So we're going to have, and this one's tricky on purpose, 1 minus, there it is, 1 minus -2 squared. Let's not forget our parentheses. Okay, here's what not to do. Don't look at this and say, oh, negative, it makes it a positive. No, not in this context, because we're squaring this negative. So we're going to have 1 minus, okay, when you square a -2, you have -2 times -2, that gives you 4, and that's -3. Okay, 1 minus 4, -3. All right, k of -2. Again, our x value, our input is -2. Here's our x-axis, and there's our y-axis. No surprises there. We're going to go to -2 and find the corresponding y value, which would be here, which would be 2. There's a lot of 2's in these. There we go. And m of -2, so we're going to plug a -2 right there. This one's going to be very straightforward. We're going to have -3 times -2. That's going to give me +6. Okay, as we move forward to the next video, things change a bit because we're going to be combining different things and multiplying by scalars and leaving variables in there, that sort of thing.